You know guys, over the last couple of weeks with Black Ops 6, I've made several different claims as to what I think is contributing to why the game is not very good. You've heard me talk about SBMM like a million times, you've heard everybody else talk about it too, to be honest, but I've also talked about the spawns, we just talked about the development team behind Ricochet, we've talked about Activision and their greed, but guys, one of the main things that I've claimed about Black Ops 6, especially when you want to consider the fact that these developers themselves came out to Doug Dimmadum Warzone.
Fuck you, Doug!
And told him that Black Ops 6 was the best developed Call of Duty of all time, better than all of their previous Black Ops titles, so please just take that in again. But guys, one of the biggest turnoffs about Black Ops 6 that I have touched on and talked about so many times, and it needs to be driven in once again in today's video because it seems like other people are finally kind of catching up. And guys, what I mean is, the maps in Black Ops 6, obviously we know, obviously, they're dog shit, okay? They're not good. They've never been good in this game. There's like 4 or 5, which are okay, I would say, but in the grand scheme of things, for the amount of maps that we have in this game, having like 4 or 5 out of like 16 or 17 is a really dog shit ratio. Like, that is horrifying. But it wasn't until Blame Truth made his video about the Black Ops 6 maps just being a part of Avalon, the Warzone map, which you can actually go ahead and see outside of the map in theater mode, that a lot of people really started touching on that topic that, hey, this is really just from Warzone. And I remember I made a video about this back in MW 2019 Part 3, and when I made that video, a lot of people really did not like that one. A lot of people were talking shit to me, to the Scadmaster, saying all sorts of things, just crying in the comments, oh, you're just hating for views, you don't know what you talk about, wait till the game comes out.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
And yeah, we saw how that went. You know, you guys know the saying, never wrong, just early. But before I go any further, guys, you already know what it is. We are 400 subscribers away from 35K. So please, guys, leave a like on today's video, subscribe if you're new. Let's get some more people watching today's video, and watch me open this up again and tell you guys how I was right about Black Ops 6. Now, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody that the Black Ops 6 maps, upon seeing them initially during the beta, right, we had Scud, and we had Derelict, and we had Skyline, and we had some of the face-off maps. I think everybody immediately knew that there was going to be an issue regarding the maps, okay? If Skyline was our best map, and honestly, in the grand scheme of things, when you compare Skyline to some of the better maps in Call of Duty history, especially the ones in the Black Ops series, Skyline is okay. It's not bad at all, but it's not up there, you know what I mean? Like, Skyline is easily like a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10, but I would never consider that a classic map. Certainly not by the same development team that made Black Ops 1 through 4. I mean, there's genuinely some timeless maps in there, but when we look at Black Ops 6, it was immediately obvious. We had Scud, which is such a horrifyingly shit map. Horrifying design, makes no goddamn sense. Fucking head glitches that are just godheadies that you just can't rip people off of because, I don't know, man, they did something with the headshot multiplier. That's their own shit. That's just decision-making wise is just poor. And then we had Derelict, which is not really a good map either. I would consider it's one of the better maps in this game, but that doesn't make it a good map. And then when the full game released, guys, oh good god, the maps were an immediate issue.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
And that's something that a lot of people have finally been talking about a little bit more. Not the sense that they fucking suck, because we've been saying that since day one, but the fact that these aren't developed naturally, the same way that the original Black Ops games maps were. See, back then, we didn't have fucking Warzone, okay? Things made sense. Things were a little bit better back then. Nowadays, we have Warzone, and for whatever ungodly reason, I thought Raven and Sledgehammer and maybe another team like Phoenix were working on Warzone this entire time. I didn't realize that Treyarch had a say in the design. And what this really comes down to is, why the fuck are the Warzone POIs, the points of interest, the landing zones in Warzone, why are they 6v6 maps? We saw this happen back in MW 2019 Part 2. I talked about it. People were talking shit. Never wrong, just early once again. But it really was a cause for concern because so many people realized that these maps are playing a lot differently than how they used to be playing. And it's especially noticeable in a game like Black Ops 6 because, like I've been saying, Treyarch is just known to make the best maps in Call of Duty history. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, there's like Terminal and Rust and High Rise and some of those maps from the Modern Warfare series, but when I look at Call of Duty as a whole, I'm thinking Raid, Standoff, Nuketown, I'm thinking Fringe, I'm thinking Grid, Array, Launch, Firing Range. So many iconic Black Ops maps, and Treyarch, the development team behind that, clearly was not the same as the Treyarch team that is developing these maps because these maps fucking suck. Even when you look at some of the DLC maps, I refuse to believe that Hideout is a Treyarch map. It's not even designed as organized as a traditional 3-lane map like Treyarch used to have back in the day. I think that's a Sledgehammer map. And then we have Extraction, and we've talked about Extraction. That map is fucking ass in a cup. And get this, guys, I'm pretty sure Extraction is also from Warzone, from the Avalon map, a map that we're not even getting this year. Anyways, there's so many maps in this game that are just ripped out of Warzone, and I'm glad that somebody like Blame Truth actually went ahead and went into the Codcaster, or somebody sent him footage of the Codcaster, and he went through it in a video, and that video fucking popped off. And that's good, because a lot of people need to see shit like that. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I talked about this in a previous video a few months ago, and not only did people not believe me, but people were talking mad shit. And I just want to know where the fuck those same gooch lickers are at, because you guys had a lot to say to the Scadmaster. You guys were very quick to write me off and talk all that shit in the comments. Where the fuck are you now?
You was popping all that good shit a second ago, then you got kicked in your chest. You eat a dick, nigga. You eat a dick.
And what this entire thing is really about is just the fact that a Warzone POI just cannot be a 6v6 map. Because outside of that POI, there's more area to cover, there's more spaces to go through, there's more flank routes, there's more routes entirely, there's different verticality sometimes. Like, those maps are not designed for 6v6, they're designed for Warzone. They're designed for a massive battlefield of people just coming in, and that's not gonna work with a spawn system that is tied to a 6v6 mode, especially not with the speed of this game, especially not with the handling of the guns and the power positions that people can get to and the streaks that are happening at the same time. They truly do not think this shit through. A Warzone POI cannot be a 6v6 map, so why the fuck is there so many of them? And that begs the question, Treyarch, what the fuck were you doing for the last 4 years? You were working on Omni Movement, clearly, because that's your shit. I've already talked about how many things are wrong with Black Ops 6, but Blame Truth brought up a really good point, and it's a point that I've made personally several times as well, but the maps are literally the most important part about your game. The launch of your game is the most important part of the entire life cycle. And if those two things aren't matching up, having good maps during your launch, you're setting yourself up for failure, which is why I'm telling you guys that Black Ops 6 was a shit show from the start.
Now listen!
This game belongs in the fucking toilet bowl because now they can try to catch up, right? They can give us 10 out of 10 DLC maps that are all bangers. I personally completely doubt it, even if they are stealing from Sledgehammer Games like a bunch of fucking weirdos, but there is still a possibility for them to do the same as Sledgehammer Games last year and just release nothing but banger DLC maps. And that's not going to change the overall perception that people have about Black Ops 6, because that entire first impression, everybody's first thoughts of the game, there's a certain type of confirmation bias that people go with, and kind of like a recency bias sort of thing with the launch window and with the first impressions and first thoughts of the game. And if it was genuinely that bad, and let me tell you, it was that fucking bad, then people are gonna remember that, and they're still not gonna come back to your game because they're gonna say, okay, well, there's 2 new DLC maps this season and they seem to be pretty good, but that still leaves like 15 other maps that are just straight shit. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, since like the 3rd day of the launch, I haven't played Protocol. I haven't played Red Card. I haven't played Vorkuta. I'm sure there's other maps that I just don't remember. I haven't played Scud. Guys, there's so many maps in this game that I just haven't touched. And it's even worse now because in my last video, I talked about one of the only things that's actually grabbing my interest, and it's ranked play. And guys, in ranked play, it's supposed to be a lot less bullshit, but as you saw in my last video, we got fucking hackers and shit. But there's supposed to be significantly less BS happening on the map. But the map pool in ranked play, even when it's 4v4, is just oh god. Fuck. The point is, guys, it's not good. It's not good, okay? Like, we have fucking Vault, Red Card, Protocol, like, Rewind, like, these are some really, really shit maps that we have to play in a competitive aspect, and like I told you guys, ranked play is actually one of the few things that I will gravitate towards, but with this map pool, oh Jesus Christ, it is ass, okay? I still haven't played Red Card in ranked play because you can veto it and you can vote to skip it, and that's what everybody does. Same with Protocol. Like, these maps are not good. And I'm pretty sure, hold on. Now that I think about it, Protocol and Red Card are both part of the Warzone map too. So is Skyline. I'm pretty sure Payback is too, and I actually like Payback, but it's part of a Warzone POI. Guys, these are not 3-lane maps. These are not traditional maps. If we're gonna claim that Treyarch lied, I'm gonna say, you know what? By the sounds and looks of it, after what I've experienced in this game, I would say that's kinda true, because these maps literally fucking suck. Thank God we're getting Hacienda back, but Hacienda is also part of Warzone. At least now it is, but on its own, it's still a very solid map. It's really good. But we can't expect one map to just carry the whole fucking season. Come on. I don't know how far across these seasons are spread out, but if we gotta deal with these fucking maps for like another month and a half or some shit before we get more maps, it's a cause for concern. That's literally how you shit on your honeymoon phase, and ideally, back in the golden era, this is usually around the point that the honeymoon phase starts to dwindle out. A lot of people start fading away and they start saying, you know what? This game has a couple of issues, right? People were saying that about Black Ops 6 within the first like 4 or 5 days. That's really fucking bad, first of all. But secondly, it doesn't seem like anything's really improving. And it brings me back to this point that I've made several times in the past. Guys, Warzone cannot be this tied into multiplayer. And Treyarch, as a development team, you need to have the talent to make a 6v6 map without pulling it from Warzone. Not only does it scream fucking laziness and just half-assing everything, but you need to be in touch with your community. Did you make Black Ops 6 or did you make fucking Warzone? Cause yeah, you gave us 16 maps, congratulations, that's a really good number, I'm not gonna lie, but when 85% of them are damn near unplayable and nobody wants to play them and they skip them, what the fuck was all that work for? And a lot of those maps, once again, they're just pulled from Warzone. I don't know, man, it seems like a lot more people are finally talking about the maps, specifically because of Ranked Play's map pool, but also because a lot of people figured out that these are just Warzone POIs, and I know a lot of people are talking about that these maps were designed by AI and the whole ChatGPT thing. I mean, to me, that's just comical relief. I don't know if I actually buy into that, but I wouldn't even be surprised because sometimes it looks like AI made this shit because it doesn't make any fucking sense half the time. Guys, I don't want to be right about this, but of course I am, guys, and I'm waiting for some of these development teams in Activision to prove me fucking wrong, but unfortunately, it's not happening.
God damn it!
But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What are your thoughts on the maps just being pulled out from Warzone? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.